Today we have Kierre with us, who's currently sitting at our number one spot with 1.7, almost $1.8 million generated in revenue. This interview is a very, very close one to me. I'm very excited to bring this one on.
So I got to see a lot of everything up close and personal behind the scenes in terms of like how the business works, the cars. Obviously, I'm seeing the type of money you're making and also the lifestyle as well. So at that point, if you're able to be so close to that, it's a no-brainer as far as why you wouldn't want to be attached to that as well.
Kierre, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How you doing?
Great, bro. How's everything?
Everything's good, man. Everything's good, of course. So you know that.
I got 10, probably 15 questions for you, and then I'll let you go. Sounds good?
Yeah, let's do it.
So first question, how does it feel to make the amount of money you've made? 1.7, basically almost $1.8 million.
It's crazy to hear that just simply because, I mean, 5 years ago, I would have never imagined the industry, number one, like this even existing, and then secondly, being able to be a part of an industry like this.
Why did you choose to get into exotic car rentals?
So for me, I feel like it's a little bit different, and I feel very, very fortunate because by the time that I met you, I really got to catch you pretty much right at the beginning. When you were getting started in it, you were a little bit established, but still very much so on the rise. So I got to see a lot of everything up close and personal behind the scenes in terms of like how the business works, the cars. Obviously, I'm seeing the type of money you're making and also the lifestyle as well. So at that point, if you're able to be so close to that, it's a no-brainer as far as why you wouldn't want to be attached to that as well.
What is the most you've made in 1 month?
Most made in 1 month. I think the best deal we ever did, like included myself.
Not deal, but in the whole month. Your best
Yeah,
month.
best month was about 170K, if I'm not mistaken. So we had a car that we put on a yearly lease, and then it also
I
includes
know
some
what
daily
I know what
rentals.
month this is.
Yeah, we also have some daily rentals too on top of that.
What has the income from Supercars done for you?
For me, I would say it's allowed me to kind of live life on my own terms and have a lot of more fun and be able to do things that in this industry I wouldn't be able to do unless I was working like a dog, slaving myself around 24/7, just in somewhere doing something probably I don't even want to do. We've had moments, for example, where I remember when you bought the iced out AP, you had the iced out watch on your wrist, and then literally a week or two later I ended up getting the iced out Rolex. So it's moments like those that really highlight what this business can do for you versus something else that I probably wouldn't have got the ability to have that kind of experience.
I agree with that. What have you learned from this experience?
Mm, I would say the biggest thing I probably learned is what it takes to run a business. Um, One thing that sticks out to me whenever I talk about exotic car rentals, supercar rentals in general, the number one thing people are always asking is, oh, well, what about the liability? Like, how does insurance work? Like, what happens when a car goes down? And on the outside, I can see why somebody would be scared for something like that to happen. But when you're really a part of this and you have all your systems and all your infrastructure set in place, you realize that what seems like a loss, you can actually turn into a win.
This is true. Do
Mhm.
you generate income through brokering your own cars or both?
So I'm a little bit different because I'm actually
A lot
attached to,
different.
yeah, I'm a lot different because I'm actually attached to the company. I'm COO, but also I have equity in the company as well. So with that being said, I make money on deals that we personally partner on. Like you'll maybe buy a car and then you invite me to go in on that car with you, and we make money on that.
I never invite you. You're always the one asking to go on that car. You're very careful with which cars you pick.
Well, yeah, of course, of course. So we make money that way, but also obviously we make money from the company Corsa doing well overall.
Yeah, but this is more so about your cars and the money that you're making from rentals. So when it comes to just rentals, you basically just make money on your own cars, but you make it from Corsa, which is why your profit is 50%. We take to the half,
Mhm.
which is kind of it's kind of a little loophole because even that 50% that Corsa keeps, you also take some of that as well. So
Yeah, kind of.
kind of damn, I just realized, man, you take advantage. How did you find that about me? Well,
Man, I actually met you through a mutual friend at the time. Shout out to Jimmy Divergent, if you guys know who that is. So at the time,
we
that
have an
was
interview with him soon.
yeah, that was your first cameraman that you had out in LA. So this was circa 2019.
There has
So
to be something to say about my employees either doing rentals with me or doing it on their own after.
yeah, facts, facts.
There has to be something to say about
Definitely one
that.
of those guys. He was definitely one of those guys. But yeah, we met through Jimmy. Jimmy kind of put us together, and then we became very, very close, very fast. And then literally that next year was the pandemic, the whole lockdown and everything. So we uprooted from LA to Miami, and then it just became what it is. So almost 5 years strong now.
Did you know Supercar existed before finding out about me?
No, absolutely not. I mean, I always had a thing for cars. Like even growing up as a kid, I had model cars that I would collect with my childhood friend when the car show would come into town. I'm from Dallas originally, so when car shows would come into town, my dad would take me and my friend there, and we look at the cars and stuff like that. So it's always been something that's there, but definitely never in a million years would I think that you can make a living from like renting these cars out and being able to enjoy them as well.
What are your thoughts on our friendship and relationship?
Obviously it means the world to me. Like anybody who knows me, like gets to meet me, they know how much you mean to me, like how much you put me on. I wouldn't be honestly like legit. I definitely wouldn't be the person that I became in the past 5 years if I didn't meet you. And that's just straight up like everything, whether it's life, business, relationships, just being a good person overall. I mean, you really put me on. There's I could break it down into an hour segment on that subject alone, but for the sake of time, I won't. But yeah, I'm always trying to give you your flowers every time I can.
Yeah, I appreciate that, bro. And vice versa. I definitely feel like you've done a lot for me and our and the company as a whole.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Being at now $1.78 million, where you're looking to be at the end of this year.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to keep growing, want to keep scaling. With all the projects and everything that we have going on, there's definitely no reason why we shouldn't be able to like double it, and I'd be able to hit like 2.5. Ultimately, the better the company does, obviously, the better that I do. So everything that I'm doing on the day to day is really dedicated to growing what we currently have, which I'll be able to see the fruits of that labor too.
What is your all-time goal in this business?
I mean, with Corsa, just really building it up to its full potential that it possibly can be. So whether that means, one day going public, finding another project that we're doing, like there's so many opportunities, so many things that we can do just with the Corsa brand alone. So my goal is to really play my role in that, do as much as I can, really dedicate myself to seeing all of this through and blowing it up to being as big as it can be.
I like that. How many vehicles are in your fleet now?
Right now, if you count everything that's like in the shop as well, I think we're about 8. I think I'm about 8 right now.
How much work per day in general have you put into making this happen?
So for me, and I know I keep going back to Corsa, but it's true. So for me, since I am so ingratiated with Corsa and everything that we have going on in the day to day, really I work on this full time because again, the more work I put into this and everything that we have going on, the better Corsa does, the better I do, the better the whole team does. So this is something that's really has become like a full-time thing for me.
Yeah, I mean, you're responsible for not only your own, but every single one of our cars.
Exactly.
How long do you see yourself doing supercar rentals for?
I mean, as long as you're in it. As long as you're in it, we're locked in.
Kierre, thanks so much for we appreciate you taking the time that we don't have to be doing this. And two last questions. What would you want to say to your future self? And then after, if you can tell me, what would you want to say to anybody else watching this right now?
What would I want to say to my future self? Sheesh, that's a good question. I would want to say to my future self that everything you're going through right now, all the work, all the dedication that you're putting into, like your whole life, your whole soul that you're putting into this is something that's going to pay off. So just keep staying the course, keep growing, keep elevating, keep doing what you can do in order to help everybody else win. And then you're going to see your wins as well in your own personal life, whatever that looks like for you, in order for you to feel fulfilled out of life. So just keep going, keep staying the course. And then what was the second question? Sorry.
The second question is,
Oh, what I want to tell everybody else, right?
yeah, but to kind of put my 2 thoughts into that, I was just thinking when you were saying that, it kind of goes to show that it's kind of like how much work you're willing to put into it, because you being number one is of no shock. And obviously I see what you do every single day for not only the company, but, getting your own cars rented with a company. And there's definitely nobody here that works as much as you. Like, legitimately, there isn't. Like, you have a number one spot by so much more than anybody else. I see why. It's literally, oh yeah, okay, maybe you have a little bit of help by leveraging, our brand and all. But aside from that, you work so much. We both do. We work endlessly every single day. So it just kind of shows that really kind of putting in the work,
Yeah.
No, don't get me wrong, we've had our fun as well, but we definitely work a lot every single day. So it explains the big difference in numbers from you and the second place, which, by the way, it would be Alec and Jonathan, which I'm pretty sure you know, if they were together, but we ended up splitting their income half since they're partners. And yeah, the last question is, what would you tell anybody watching this?
Anybody watching this, what I would tell you is to find something. Obviously, we're a little bit biased, so we're going to talk about, supercar rentals, but find something that you can truly be passionate about, to where you can put your all into it, and you can go through the good times, even I don't want to say bad times, but maybe things, aren't going as well. But you can still stay the course. You can still be in it day in and day out, because it's something you so genuinely love, and it's something you truly want to be a part of, and it's something that's going to be bigger than yourself. So go out there. Life is full of potential. Like, you don't have to be stuck in whatever you're doing right now if you're not truly happy with it and it's not getting you anywhere. Find something that truly is going to give you that path of fulfillment, and go full force into it. Like, don't be scared.
I actually have a wild card extra question that I'm pretty sure people are going to want to know, or like maybe want to ask. So, with the amount of money you've made so far and the amount of cars that you have already that are, partner up with me, how come you haven't decided to go on your own?
People ask me that question all the time, actually. For me personally, I feel like it makes far more sense, and I can achieve way more if I got attached to a guy like you and the whole Corsa brand overall. And again, I'm really big on playing my role. Like, for anybody out there, like, play your role, know yourself. There's some people out there who are good being the number one guy, and they can take on all those challenges, responsibilities, everything that comes with it. And then there's other guys where it may be like myself or somebody else, where you're better fit for a role where you're like the number 2 guy or the number 3 guy or something like that. And you come in, you contribute, you put your blood, your sweat, your energy, your soul into something, and you focus your energy on blowing it up to be bigger than what it was before you even came along. So
yeah, I mean, to be number one, really, like, I'm not number one, we're number one. We're both together in courses. It's like, forget about being number one. To be number one, give me 10 guys ready to go to war, and we'll make it happen. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
At the end of the day, by yourself, you can only get so far. You need a team to really get to that whole next level. Definitely where we're heading where we're at right now. I mean, I think one thing that we should definitely put out there is that we have a pretty good team that helps us out every single day, and makes our job a lot easier. So it's like, give me 10 group of guys and girls ready to go, ready to put in their all, and we'll be number one together for sure.
It'll be unstoppable.
I'm not even on this list, so you are number one on this list.
Bet.
All right, bro. Kierre, it's been amazing having you. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you next year for the next interview.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.